and Miss Melissa Butcher. For the Mighty Social Sciences, Department Chair, Mr. Nick Hall. Mr. Gavin Hooker. Mr. Philip Zamora. And Mr. Daniel Egan. Languages other than English, Department Chair and ASB Director, Ms. Sarah Ortiz. Mr. and Coach Rafael Rodriguez, alumni. Our study hall proctor and German teacher, Ms. Eleni Theochari. And Dr. Amy So. For English for students of other languages and also Senior Class Advisor, Director of International Students, Ms. Maya Ramirez. And on her team, Ms. Sonia Pratt. Math Department, Department Chair, Ms. Casey Drake. Ms. Lisa Caffro. Legendary Mr. and Coach Bobby Huggins. Ms. Denise Martin. And again, Ms. Jolene Mitchell. Director of Learning Strategies, Dr. Francis Disney. Counseling, lead counselor, high school counselor, Ms. Brittany Siegel. Middle school counselor, Ms. Lauren Segovia. High school counselor, Ms. Tina Benedict, and also senior class advisor. And high school counselor, Ms. Katie Morgan. Lastly, for my amazing academic support staff, Ms. Amber Smith, who put together every program that you've read throughout the week. Thank you, Ms. Amber. Ms. Tammy Clark, registrar. Ms. Stacia Hoagland, administrative assistant. Thank you all. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. One more round of applause for these educators.
So it's my pleasure to introduce the Commandant staff, but I would like to ask Ms. Amber Smith to stand again, please, because we share her between the Commandant and the academics. Thank you, Ms. Smith. So Deputy Commandant, Gunnery Sergeant Charles Glimka. Assistant Commandant for Cadet Life is Sergeant Major Eusebio Gonzalez. Assistant Commandant for Operations and Security is Master Sergeant Mike Bate. Our LET department, led by Senior Army Instructor Major Ed Guillermo. LET 3, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Manny Ortiz. LET 2, Command Sergeant Major Jerry Garcia. And our announcer across the street and in charge of LET 1, Sergeant First Class Veronica Parker. So each trainer, advisor, coach, counselor, these TACs that spend countless of hours mentoring their cadets, your sons, I'd like to introduce them too. Starting with headquarters and battalion staff. That is TAC Officer Roy Oliver. Alpha Company, TAC Officer Kevin Clark. Band Company, Sergeant Jason McDonald. Bravo Company, Master Sergeant Lionel Salisbury. Charlie Company, Sergeant Antonio Maldonado. Echo Company, Staff Sergeant Paul Nixon. And our two support tacks, that's support tack Damiano Impastado and Alfonso Oseguera. So it takes a lot to run a campus and to run Army and Navy Academy, and there's also some other departments, or within the department, some divisions I'd like to recognize. And our health center, headed by registered nurse Miss Colleen Woodbeck and her staff. Our transportation department by Mr. David Oberly and his team. Our mess hall, headed by Frank Lasha and his staff. Our summer program activities and weekend activities, headed up by Ken Weeks, David Johnson, and Alex De Los Santos. And I just want to thank all the other departments within this organization that help make it run smoothly. Thank you.
Every 3 years, the faculty vote to elect a faculty chairperson. This faculty member serves in a variety of roles, which include representing the voice of the faculty at academic council meetings, as a member of the Board of Trustees, and in many other capacities. At this time, I would like to invite our newest faculty chairperson, Ms. Jolene Mitchell, to the podium to give the charge to the class of 2019.
I would like to thank the parents, grandparents, relatives, and guests for joining the faculty, administration, staff, and Corps of Cadets in celebrating the graduating class of 2019, the 108th Army and Navy Academy graduating class. Thank you for sharing these very special young men with us. Gentlemen, today is the day. You are graduating. Soon you will receive your diplomas and no longer be the cadets of Army and Navy Academy. You will be alumni. This is a new beginning, one of freedom, one of great responsibility. We have provided you with exceptional academic, leadership, and personal development opportunities, the knowledge, skills, and training needed to accomplish your goals and help open the doors to top university acceptances for you. UCSD, Berkeley, USD, the United States Naval Academy, NYU, the University of Oregon, Pepperdine, UCSB, and many other fine institutions. We have challenged you to work hard and do your best, and we've provided you with the tools necessary for success. We have guided you and emphasized the importance of valuing, maintaining, and demonstrating character in all that you do as you work to become leaders of your generation. And now it is up to you. It'll be very challenging, of that there is no question. The opportunities are limitless if you're determined to work as necessary to be successful and have a strong internal compass. One that is directed toward what is right, honorable, and just as a virtuous young man. Last fall, as faculty chair, I issued you, the senior class, a challenge to carry on the traditions and high standards of the Corps of Cadets as established at our founding in 1910, to grow and achieve throughout the year, to safeguard and honor the Academy and national colors, and to pass them on with pride and honor, knowing that you, the senior class, have achieved your goals. Today I'm here to issue every one of you a more serious challenge. I challenge and I charge you to pursue your goals with energy and determination, to work hard in all of your endeavors, to continue to grow and develop into men of good character, to always be virtuous men. Today you become graduates of Army and Navy. This can never be taken from you. Remember the lessons you've earned, the skills we have provided you, and the bonds you have formed. Make every action and word spoken a demonstration that you are a virtuous man, men of character, honor, integrity. Go above and beyond in all you do, be respectful of others, be grateful. Most importantly, to your family who has supported and continues to support you in your endeavors. Live by the honor code. Value these characteristics in others and surround yourself with individuals who also value them. Congratulations, gentlemen. We're all very proud of you today. Continue to make us proud. And remember, we are always warrior proud. Warrior strong. Is there anyone here who will respond to this challenge?
I do. Congratulations to my fellow graduates of the class of 2019. This is a new beginning, and we are ready. With the lessons learned from faculty and staff, I know that we have the academic, leadership, and personal skills to succeed in college and in life. I am happy to respond to the challenge for the class of 2019 and say that we promise to do our best to carry on the traditions and high standards of the Army and Navy Academy. We will pursue our goals with energy and determination. We will continue to grow and develop into men of good character. We will always be grateful for what we have learned at the Academy. We are all proud to soon be called alumni of the Army and Navy Academy. Most importantly, we are Warrior proud, and we are Warrior strong. Congrats, 2019.
Good job, Battalion Commander. It's now my great honor to introduce our guest speaker, a warrior, class of 2009, valedictorian of the class of 2009, Battalion Commander, class of 2009, Silver A holder, class of 2009, graduate of MIT, and now he's an intelligence research specialist with the New York Police Department. He's one of you. He knows just what you're going through today. It is my great honor. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Cody Zoschek.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, graduates, cadets, faculty, staff, parents, family, and friends. First and foremost, congratulations. Congratulations to the class of 2019 for graduating from this incredible program. Congratulations to the parents, the family, the friends, and the fellow cadets who supported them. And a special congratulations to each and every member of the faculty and staff who guided, advised, cajoled, threatened, and inspired these fine young men to get them where they are today. Before we launch into this, I'd like to take a minute to recognize a few people that were part of my experience here at the Academy and continue to serve. I sincerely apologize if I miss anybody. I'm sure I'm going to forget one. Come up after me, smack me upside the head. Ms. Coe, Dr. Cowan, Mr. Segovia, Mr. Huggins, Bobby Patterson, Sergeant Parker, Sergeant Mack over there. Who else do we have? I know I'm forgetting a couple. Gunny Glimka. Again, smack me if I'm forgetting one or two of those. Thank you for everything you did for me and my classmates. I hope that you truly understand the impact that you have on just countless young men. I'm sorry, Mr. Musser. You're right there, and I've already said hello to you. I apologize. So, to be completely honest, I was a little taken aback when General Bartell asked me to give the commencement address. I'm about 30 or 40 years younger than most people giving commencement addresses. Age isn't always the best indicator of quality, but those folks have a lot of experience that they can draw on that I just simply don't have. General Bartell told me that was the point. He wanted a speaker that could give some more relatable lessons to a graduating class, and a class that's going to be going out into a world that doesn't look like the world of 40, 50 years ago. It doesn't look like the world of 20 years ago, and it might not even look like the world of 10 years ago. So I thought long and hard about what I might say that could be useful to a graduating senior. What might have been worth my time while I was sitting there sweating through my senior whites a decade ago. It's weird to say a decade ago. The first thing that came to mind was a speech I gave to the Corps a few years ago in the chapel. I'm not sure if there's anyone who remembers it. Frankly, I don't remember what year it was. The topic was on failure. That was a little depressing, but I figured I could borrow a couple paragraphs, make it a little easier to write this speech. Couldn't find the original, so I had to go from scratch. While I was going through it, though, I realized I could build on that and come up with a more important message. My mind kept coming back to a passage that was up on that wall where that poster used to be. Written in 2-foot letters. Some of the faculty and staff who have been around for a while will remember it. And it was an excerpt from a Rudyard Kipling poem. And the words that were up there was only part, And I'll read the whole thing in a minute, but if you can fill this unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the world and everything in it. And what's more, you'll be a man, my son. I stood in front of those words for 3 years in Echo Company. I was an NCOIC, I didn't get held back. Used those as motivation for my time at A&A and beyond. And I thought about them, and they motivated me. They made me want to get up and run. But I read the whole poem, and I actually think that there's some lessons in there that are worth listening to. So, looking at that, I arrived on the topic for today, which is passion. So before launching into the whole speech here, I'd like to take a minute to read the poem in its entirety. I think we can all agree Rudyard Kipling is much more eloquent than I am and can make a point more effectively. So we're just going to go with that. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or be lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your maker, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. There's way too much in that poem for me to say right up here now. I'd be up here way too long. We'd have a couple people passing out. So we're gonna take a couple pieces of it that I think are particularly poignant for the senior class, for the class of 2019. Let's start with the idea of the unforgiving minute. Time is unforgiving. It's the one thing you can't get back. When the minute passes, it is gone. I challenge each and one of you, every one of you, to fill that unforgiving minute with something that you are passionate about. Not something you think you need to be doing or someone else tells you you need to be doing, but something that you are truly passionate about, something that makes you happy, something that drives you. Take that passion and figure out a way to use it to better yourself and the world around you. Many of you guys are going to be going to some of the best colleges in the world in a couple of short months. I challenge you not just to take advantage of the classes and the job opportunities and the clubs, but to surround yourself with people that share your passion, or at least share the concept of passion. That's how you fill the unforgiving minute. You will be among a teeming mass of people with drastically different backgrounds, experiences, and ideas, much like here, except a lot bigger. Take advantage of that. Learn from your classmates, learn from your professors, learn from the grad students, learn from everybody. If you think someone has nothing to teach you, you're wrong. Many of you will probably spend a little too much time enjoying your newfound freedom. It's okay, I did it. But make sure you're doing it in a way that improves you as a person in some way, whether it's socially, mentally, physically, morally, and leads you to your passion. The next line challenges us to fill that minute with 60 seconds full of distance run. What I love about the Kipling poem is it doesn't tell you what path to take. It doesn't tell you to run on a track. It doesn't tell you to run on a treadmill. It doesn't tell you to run to be a doctor, a lawyer, a senator, a congressman, an engineer. It just tells you to do what you're doing in the best way possible. That path can be anything. Don't take one because it seems easy. Don't take a path because that's what your parents did, or your older brother did, or this guy that you knew back in your old middle school did. Or take one that's going to make you a lot of money, or do what you're going to expect it to do. Take a path that fits your passion. Find your niche. Find your passion. Then figure out a way to build a life around that, not the other way around. Now, before you get too excited, that doesn't mean you should skip class every day, go to the beach, surf from dusk till dawn, and tell everyone you're going to become a pro surfer and be a millionaire. That's not passion. That's a pipe dream. Find your niche. If you're honest with yourself, and you say you can be you say you want to do something in the surfing world, that's what you want to do. Integrate that passion for surfing with your niche. That just because you're not the best surfer in the world doesn't mean you can't work in that industry. Find a way to build that live plan. Maybe you design a better surfboard. Maybe you design a better wax. Maybe you become a promoter, a writer, whatever it might be. Find your niche. Developing those skills is hard work. Your passion and your niche are both full-time jobs. And like it or not, to do this right, you're going to have to work 2 full-time jobs. You need to constantly be educating yourself and developing yourself. Whether that's the college, military, trade school, reading online, watching YouTube videos about what you love. Maybe you want to become a beekeeper. You watch your YouTube videos and become the best beekeeper out there. Figure out what you're passionate about. Figure out what you can do to endure that 60 seconds worth of distance run, because it's a lot more than 60 seconds. And if you love it, it'll be easy. The last part outlines our reward. It says in that 60 seconds full of distance run, that 60 seconds full of distance run will grant us the world and everything in it. Kipling's not wrong. He's not exaggerating. Each and every one of you are capable of conquering the world. You can't all do it. There's too many of you. But each one of you are capable of it. Chart the right path and you work hard, you will have the world. So, one part about this poem that I'd like to address that I think is particularly relevant for you gentlemen, for you cadets, is that Kipling says the 60 seconds distance run will make us men. And I'd like to focus on that for a minute. It's a very complicated statement, especially now. What does it mean to be a man in today's society? There are countless people out there describing masculinity and what that means a man has to do. And I'm not going to pretend to be able to give you a guide to masculinity right now. I'm not qualified to do it. I got a couple of lessons that I learned here at A&A, 4 years in an all-male fraternity, working for the United States Marine Corps, and working for the New York City Police Department. I said it's a pretty manly set of organizations. But my strongest male role models in those organizations defied the stereotypes. The manliest men were often those that exhibited the fewest of the values that I have seen in successful men. First off, anytime someone uses the phrase alpha male, stop listening. Nothing good follows that. This idea that real men dominate the world around them and bend everything to their will and just absolutely crush everything is inane. True strength is built through respect, leadership, and consensus. You can't go it alone. You're not an island. To be successful, you need support, and as much as you can get. That does not mean you're weak. That means you're strong. That makes you strong and resilient. You build a network. You build a support network. You build something that you've seen here at Army-Navy. Seek and build support from friends, romantic partners, peers, leaders, and subordinates. You're building a team. Never shy away from adding somebody to your team. Figure out what every single person around you can add to your team. Then remember that adding someone to your team means you were just added to their team. You're as responsible for supporting them as you are for supporting you. And that's how you're going to build lifelong relationships, friendships, and whatever is going to support you through the rest of your life. Next, remember, if your team all looks the same, acts the same, and thinks the same, you're going to screw up in the same way. It's easy to spend all your time with people like you. Here at Army-Navy, you could not spend all your time with people like you. You're an incredibly diverse class. I think, 7 countries I saw on the back of that flag? 7, is that right? Someone correct me? We're going with 7. All right. It's easy to spend time with people like you. It takes no effort. You gel, you finish each other's sentences, And everything seems great until you realize you were seeing, at best, half the picture. Surround yourself with people that think differently. I'll specifically say one of the lessons that I learned. As men who just spend a lot of time in all-guys boarding school, you need to spend time making sure you develop healthy relationships with women, both romantic and platonic. I've worked with people who are well into their career and are failing because they cannot work with 50% of the workforce. They have incredibly backward views of women, and that doesn't fly anymore. I know from experience it can be hard. You haven't worked with women in anything resembling, most of you, I shouldn't say none of you, most of you have not worked with women in the same way that you've worked with men. It's going to be easier to work with men. I'm sure there have been plenty of jokes told and plenty of things said that have formed some of your ideas about the opposite gender. Cut that out. Nip it in the bud. It doesn't work. That's over. I strongly believe that Army-Navy gives every cadet the tools to change the world. This is the beginning of your journey. And I believe that you young men have a head start on many of your contemporaries. You've lived on your own. You've dealt with your own problems. You've learned what it feels like to fail. You've learned what it feels like to succeed. You've learned responsibility for yourself. And most importantly, you've learned what it's like to be responsible for others. That's rare. Some people go into their 30s without doing that. Take these tools and build your own path to success. To finish this, I'd like to issue a challenge to the members of the class of 2019. No one has to respond to it, don't worry. I can't take full credit for this. It's actually a modified version of the challenge that was issued to my graduating class in college. I really liked it, and once again, I will borrow the words of better men. So with proper credit given, I challenge you, the cadets of the class of 2019, to go out into society, to change the definitions, rewire the circuits, rearrange the molecules, reformulate the equation. In short, I want you to hack the world until you make it a little better, a little more daring, and a little more passionate, a little more rigorous, a little more inventive, a little more ambitious. Be humble, be respectful, be generous, and be kind. Warrior pride.
Thank you, Cody. That was amazing. Now it's my pleasure to begin this year's Commencement Awards presentation. Our first award today is the Bain Eade Salutatorian Award, which is named in honor of Charles Bain and Raymond Eade, two late deans of the Academy. This award is presented to the graduating senior with the second highest cumulative grade point average, including 9th grade performance and through first semester senior year. This year's salutatorian is Command Sergeant Major Hunter Edmond, who is graduating with a GPA of 4.13. Hunter is excited to attend USD in the fall on pretty much a full ROTC scholarship. Hunter, please come forward.
Before I start, I just want to take a page out of Mr. Zoschek's book and apologize if I forget anyone in my thank you portion of my speech. There's a lot of people here that have helped me, and hopefully I cover everyone, but if I don't, come up and tell me, and I'll tell you in person. Good afternoon, friends and families of the cadets of the class of 2019, and welcome to our commencement. I would also like to cordially welcome General Bartell, Mr. Barry Schreier, Colonel Ward, Gunny Glimka, Ethan Segovia, Bird Millick, members of the Alumni Association and the Board of Trustees, and all of the Army and Navy Academy faculty and staff. My name is Hunter Edmond, and I'm the exiting Battalion Command Sergeant Major, and perhaps one of the shortest people in the senior class. So I'm going to try and stand on my toes for this whole thing. It's my extreme honor to be able to give this speech at our graduation, after which we shall all officially begin the next phase of our lives. We are gathered here today to acknowledge the accomplishments of our class and commemorate our enormous achievement of graduating from the Army and Navy Academy. As we celebrate, we should not focus on sole individuals, but on each other. After all, we will, together, be part of an elite alumnus brotherhood in which few others can claim part of. Before we look to our plentiful and prosperous future after today, I would also like to go back and reminisce on our time here. Not many high school students have had an experience like we've had at Army-Navy. And ladies and gentlemen, an experience it was. How many graduating seniors are able to say that they lived on a campus full of diverse cultures and international students from all over the world? Or learn at a school that is a multi-million-dollar beachfront property? Or rappel off a 60-foot wall and jump off a 40-foot diving tower? We have done more as a class than any other commencing seniors around. This, by default, makes our high school experience extremely special and different. Yet while it may be unfamiliar to others who were never cadets, it was just a part of our lives at school. Not many students can brag that they got to spend their beloved Saturdays with a Marine Corps colonel who taught them valuable life lessons while having them participate in campus beautification. Nor can they say that they were coached by Wrestling Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Oliver, or taught by a physics teacher that basically built the spaceship, Papa J. Few other seniors can profess that they've heard the angelic voices of Master Sergeant Salisbury and Staff Sergeant Nixon, whose screams carry from one side of the campus to the other. It's the small things like this that make our school so different, and these distinctions bring us closer together. There's a reason that the idea of brotherhood is mentioned so much when Army-Navy is under discussion. Our time here has forged an unbreakable bond between each and every one of us, because we all went through the muck together. And as we mark the end of this voyage today, I urge you all to continue the special connection we have together. And remember that you have family all over the world. And remember that you always will have a brotherhood here at ANA. And remember the simplistic times of high school, where some of our biggest problems included Vito and Hart trying to remember when to shave, Dip walking miles to get a perfect Instagram picture, and freshman year Hottie trying to convince all the girls at the dance that he actually was a junior. Despite my numerous anecdotes, I only ask our class to remember that the good memories far outweigh the bad ones, and to eventually utilize the skills that we've learned here. And remember yourself enjoying the academy, not disliking it. With that, I now look ahead. Our futures are so full of possibilities that, quite frankly, it frightens me. I still haven't chosen a major because there are just so many different things to do. However, we have unlimited options, and by using what we've been given, we can do whatever we want. We are the future. We are tomorrow's leaders. We are the next generation to impact the world. Let's go out there and make a difference however we want, because we can. Nevertheless, striving to achieve our goals won't be a walk in the park. It's going to be hard, and it will require a lot of determination and willpower, because we all will encounter failure. But we can find it in ourselves to overcome adversity and succeed. We know this how? Because we are all about to complete a journey that many other high school students could not have finished. And now, as we near the end of that journey and graduate together, I would like to fulfill a graduation speech trope and recite a quote. Nobody's going to hit you harder than life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. There's $1 in my pocket for anyone who can tell me where that's from. And now, as I bring my speech to a close, I realized it wouldn't be right to end it without thanking everyone who's helped my classmates and myself to this moment. Firstly, my brothers, you've always been there for me, and I will always remember the good times together. Thank you to all my brothers. I know you spent large amounts of time with me, and I hope it wasn't all too excruciating. But on a serious note, I will deeply miss all of you. To all the faculty and staff here at Army and Navy Academy, thank you so much for your dedication to our class. Your willingness to give your time to creating better young men has truly made a difference in our lives. Specifically for me, I would like to individually thank the staff that has impacted my time here. And I'm sorry if this goes on, it's a long list. I've been here 5 years. But Thank you, Dr. Cowan, Mr. C, Papa J, Miss Frankie, Miss Frazier, Miss Edwards, Mr. Zamora, Miss Ortiz, Mr. Huggins, Miss Martin, Miss Drake, Major G, Chief Ortiz, Mr. Segovia, Mrs. Ramirez, Miss Coe, Miss Morgan, Coach Brunson and all of the football staff, Coach Larson and Rodriguez, and all of the ladies that were and are in development, Lauren, Tara, Rachel, Mary, Megan, Alyssa, and TAC Officer, Coach Oliver. You all have helped me to this point, and I will never forget what you have done for me. I would also like to thank General Bartell for teaching us that boys live in the moment and that we are indeed stove touchers. And finally, I would like to thank my family. To all of my grandparents, aunts and uncles and cousins, thank you for being the best family that one can be a part of. Our family gatherings never get anywhere close to boring. To my sister Haley, thank you for putting up with me and always coming to help out around school and supporting our sports events. To my dad Richard, thank you for being so unrelentingly concerned and helpful. If it wasn't for your determination to annoy me to do things, I wouldn't be the man I am today. And lastly, to my mom Kelly, thank you for doing more for me than anyone at the school has done. You are honestly the most caring person, and you devote so much time out of your life to helping everyone, and you are such an amazing mother. As many of the guys in our class would also agree, you're a mother to them as well. Thank you to the moon and back. On that happy yet bittersweet final emotional note, I would like to conclude my speech because I no longer wish to extend the amount of time to when we officially graduate and receive our diplomas. Congratulations to the class of 2019, and thank you all.
Great work, Hunter. Thank you for those words. The Bradshaw Valedictorian Award is named in memory of Dr. Archie Bradshaw, a 1919 graduate of the Academy who was known as a scholar, a soldier, and a gentleman. It is presented to the graduating senior with the highest cumulative grade point average, including 9th grade performance and through first semester senior year. This year's valedictorian is Zonghan Lee. Zonghan is graduating with a GPA of 4.19 and will be attending New York University this fall with a major in liberal studies. Zonghan, please come forward and receive your award.
Good afternoon, faculty, staff, families, friends, and guests. My name is Zonghan Lee, and I would like to thank you all for being here today for class of 2019. It is my honor here to deliver the valedictorian address. People may be surprised why me, a Chinese kid, who may not seem that intellectual and sometimes has been seen as somewhat arrogant, is here as a top student in the class, giving you this speech today. But the fact is that this young Chinese man, right here, is giving you the valedictorian address. Therefore, I would like to first begin with my story here at ANA. I first arrived at Academy back in 2014 as an 8th grade ESL cadet. I had no knowledge about the school or how the military works. The only reason I was here, that is, this is a boarding school, and I hated homestay. My first few weeks here were terrible. Didn't know what to do, as I was earning almost all B's and C's in every single class except for PT. Quickly, I realized that I needed to do my homework, or else I'll be putting MASH. Since I'm a fighter of liberty, I quickly became enlightened, and I began completing my homework on time and asking questions during tutorials. A miracle happened. By the end of the first grading period, I already had a 3.5 GPA, so I had at least made the honor roll. It was here that I realized that I needed to actually study and do my homework. My life here will be much easier. Now, I turn my words towards what makes ANA so special for me, the leadership and military side. I always look at my company commanders, and I want to be an officer just like him, with great leadership skills, strong communication skills, and an academically successful top cadet. Also, I value the idea of necessity, which means I only do the things that are necessary for me to complete my goal. Even though I hated going to formations, cleaning my room, doing homework, and so many other tasks that I deemed unnecessary. These were required areas in order for me to get to the level I wanted to reach and have the privileges I was seeking. I had to address these areas, necessary evils. I know it may seem selfish, but at least I was being honest and striving for the better self. So I did them. I took my first step by joining the Stolz Guard drill team and color guard, gradually working on my drill and leadership skills. By the first parade, I was impressed by how the band marched and how good the drum major looked. As he looked fancy and confident, I felt like that was the kind of leader I wanted to be. Luckily, I was in the band. So I expressed myself to the bandmaster, and he encouraged me to work towards these goals. He even taught me some mace spinning skills. Time passed very quickly, and I graduated middle school with a 4.0 and joined high school, the real JROTC. I was placed in band company as a young team leader during my freshman year, and I tried my best to work on maintaining high academic GPA while working successfully in JROTC and the band. Due to my strong work ethic in all three categories and my necessity-based thinking, I became the class president, platoon sergeant, and assistant drum major during my sophomore year. As many of our top leaders here at the Academy have done, I grew and matured over the years. And with hard work and focus, I became the drum major during my junior year and the battalion XO my senior year. I was honored to serve in these positions. By becoming the battalion XO, my staff team members and I were able to achieve several significant goals. We passed the JPA with a 98.9 and brought the honor unit with distinction star back. We maintained the highest citizenship grade as a senior class. And we have also set a standard high for the next senior class. I challenged the class of 2020 to be an even better battalion than we were. Growing up in a traditional Chinese family, I've always been thankful for my motherland country, China. A country with 5,000 years of continuous history, 1.42 billion people, and more than 50 different ethnic groups. I would like to use this valuable time to express my love for my country and to clarify some of the stereotypes others may have about China. Although, throughout history, many powerful empires have attempted to control China, including the British, the French, the Dutch, and the Japanese. China to this day remains an independent and prosperous country, and we fought many foreign invaders and never lost our sovereignty. We are among the most hardworking group of people, and that's why people love to hire Chinese workers. And of course, everything is labeled made in China. This is the 21st century, yet the Chinese people are back on the world stage, and we are going to be great again. Yes, I acknowledge that we do have areas that still need to be developed and improved upon, and that is the reason why I chose to come to the United States to study. As I realized the importance of learning Western ideas, as Wei Yuan, a famous Chinese scholar from the Qing dynasty, has stated in his famous book, Illustrated Chinese Scholar from, Illustrated Treatise on the Maritime Kingdom, that 师夷长技以制夷, which means surpass foreigners by learning from them. Through the education I've received here at Academy, and will receive next year at college, I'll be able to positively contribute to my country when I return. If this was an ANA graduation back in the 1970s, there probably won't be any Chinese student here. Yet now, after a series of reforms and revolutionary changes, we are able to come to Western countries to increase our knowledge. These Chinese traditions have taught me so much and have helped me to tackle my life struggles during my time here at Academy. My Chinese values have taught me to work through these tough times, to bear the tough times when it's necessary, and when the right time comes, fight for it. Even if I may lose, I will never give up. All right, that's enough story for one day, and this is still high school graduation. And I would like to pay tribute to some of the faculty, staff, and my fellow classmates. I would like to thank Ms. Mitchell for being such an amazing math teacher. There's a book in China called 5 Years High School Graduation Test, Series of Practice. However, I rephrase it as 5 years of ANA, Seriously, Miss Mitchell. You have been my first and last math teacher since I got here. You have taught me geometry, calc AB, and BC. And oh, by the way, I'm still struggling to find the area of a circle. Next, to my BC brothers. The classroom was always full with laughs. Just imagine the highest level math classroom being filled with trash talk every single day, and everyone still kept a strong relationship with each other. Sorry. Isn't that a good class to be in? Thank you, Mbei, for being a funny guy and helping me with lead. Thank you, Ho Chen, for teaching me Ho Chinese every single day and let me practice it. Thank you, Reed, for teaching me math problems at 12 a.m. Thank you, Ricky, for helping me with questions before each retake. Thank you, Forrest, for laying on your stomach on the table and making everybody laugh. Thank you, Jeffrey, for always being a funny guy. And finally, thank you, Yidong. You still have one more year to go. OCC is finally over, and now get to have a nice senior year. Be good. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Lugo for being an excellent bandmaster. I know you're hot down there, but please bear with me. It's almost over. Thank you, Sergeant Mack, for giving me so many influential speeches during tag time in the past 3 years. Thank you, Coach Oliver, for contributing to a great senior experience. Thank you to my battalion staff brothers. Thank you, Jefferson. Wow, this is the first time I ever call you Jefferson. Thanks for being such a great BC and supporting me. Thank you, Hunter, for being a good friend for 5 years and being a great sergeant major. Thank you, Fan. You're the best S1 and Twitch. Maybe really. Thank you, Fulian, for always being sarcastic and funny. Thank you, Reed, for doing some of my jobs, even though you don't have to. Oh, by the way, I did from cadre training, not you. You're welcome. Thank you, William, for also being a good friend for 5 years. Thank you, Mbang, for being the only staff member that I roast every single day, and you're still okay with it. Thank you, Hoyer, for your excellent work this year. Just a reminder, the battalion staff team has dominated the League of Legends tournament during our Tournament of Champions with an undefeated record. And cornhole. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Segovia, Ms. Frankie, and Mr. Zamora for taking me to Boston annually and for helping me to learn about and act like an American politician. Due to these trips, I got to know and understand the Western way of political thinking. This had helped me to determine what I want to study in college. Thank you, Ms. Fraser, for teaching me how to write an SAT essay. Thank you, Major General Bartel, for always giving us inspirational comments during our lunch meetings. The prefrontal cortex is fully developed now, I guess. Thank you, Dr. Calvin, for giving me the hardest class I've ever had in high school, and I will definitely use this experience in college. You truly taught me what a college prep school is like. Thank you, Colonel Ward, for helping me understand that cleaning my room is sometimes more important than going to my biology class. As well as spending a valuable Sunday morning with a retired Marine Corps colonel cutting trees for campus beautification. Isn't that amazing? There are too many people I need to thank, but the time is just not enough. But still, thank you all for helping and supporting me. And finally, I need to thank my family for always supporting me both financially and emotionally. I don't think I've disappointed you. I love you, Mom. Time has passed very quickly. The fall of 2014 seems like yesterday, but it is graduation now. Like everybody always says, this is not the end, it's just the beginning. So, I hope all of you have a successful life after high school, no matter where you are, whether it be college, military, or work. But keep in mind, our class code is believe in the brotherhood. So, after 5, 10, 50 years, we're still brothers, and I will never forget that. I would like to conclude my speech with 2 quotes that I would like to share. The first one is, never mind the scandal and libel, just be yourself. And the second one is to all my Chinese brothers, a quote from the Song Dynasty. 为天地立心，为生民立命，为往圣继绝学，为万世开太平. Keep on growing, keep adding to the goodness and beauty in the world. Keep developing those unique dreams and talents that make you who you are. Thank you.
To continue with the commencement awards, it is my pleasure to introduce the Director of Athletics, Mr. Bert Millick, and Mr. John Mafucci, who will present the Brookhart Mafucci Scholar Athlete Award.
Good afternoon. This award is presented in honor of the late Colonel Pete Brookhart, former teacher, dean, and academic president, and in honor of John Mafucci, who served as athletic director for 44 years, among many other roles throughout the years, to include interim president for a total of 59 years. Can you please give it up for John Mafucci? We're honored to have Mr. Mafucci here today to present this award. It is presented to the graduating senior who best exemplifies the ideals of the scholar athlete. This year's award recipient is Gilbert Oakes.
You have to take your hat off, please. To continue with the commencement awards, presenting the Davis Golden Rule Award, I invite Ms. Jolene Mitchell, Faculty Chair, and Ms. Amy Coe, Assistant Dean of Academics, to the podium.
This award is named in honor of the founder of Army and Navy Academy, Colonel Thomas A. Davis. It is presented to a graduating senior who best demonstrates the character implied in the Golden Rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This cadet exemplifies the Academy motto displayed over the arch, Pro Deo et Pro Patria, for God and for country. The Davis Golden Rule Award is presented to Hadi Asi.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell and Ms. Coe. At this time, I invite Ms. Janet Pullen, Vice President of Operations and Finance, to the podium with me to present the Admiral James Bond Stockdale Award for Leadership Excellence. This award is named in honor of Admiral James Bond Stockdale, former POW during the Vietnam War, recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, and former honorary member of the Academy Board of Directors. This award is presented to the graduating senior who best exemplifies leadership excellence and moral courage during his senior year. This award recipient is Hunter Edmond. Gunnery Sergeant Glimka and I have the honor of presenting the Association of Military Colleges and Schools of the United States.
The Association of Military Colleges and Schools of the United States Award presents a medal to the graduating senior who best exemplifies the ideals of the officer leader: moral courage, integrity, honesty, leadership, responsibility, dependability, and stewardship. Colonel William C. Atkinson was involved with this National Organization of Military Schools for decades and served as president several times. This year, award recipient is Stephen Lanier. The Stella Von Atkinson Award is presented in honor of the late Colonel William C. Atkinson's mother and is presented to the graduating senior who has consistently demonstrated excellent citizenship and moral courage during his years as a cadet. This cadet is also helpful to his teachers, cooperative with his coaches, and caring toward his subordinates. He consistently models the motto above the entryway to the auditorium, Metuit confidit dedicio. No one fears to do that which he is confident he has learned well. This year's recipient is David Eschner.
To continue, I invite Mr. Ethan Segovia, Dean of Academics, and Faculty Chair, Ms. Jolene Mitchell, to the podium to present the Breidenfeld Award.
This award is named in memory of Cadet Hal Breidenfeld, a 1978 second classman whose passing was mourned by the whole campus. It is presented to the graduating senior who has best lived up to the standard. He helped make Army and Navy Academy and the cadet experience better for his having been here. Cadet Breidenfeld's legacy. This cadet is a big brother to younger cadets. He is every teacher's helper, and he demonstrates an uncommon sense of community, stewardship, fairness, and justice. This year's award recipient is Reed Sieber.
Congratulations. The final award to be presented today is the Virginia Powell Atkinson Award, which will be presented by the Academy President, Major General Arthur Bartel, and Army and Navy Academy Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Barry Schreier. Perhaps the most coveted award presented at at commencement is the Virginia Powell Atkinson Award. The award is named in honor of the late Colonel William C. Atkinson's wife, affectionately known as Miss Addie. The award is presented to the graduating senior who best exemplifies the finest traditions of Army and Navy Academy and who best represents the end result of the Academy's mission. The award is an engraved United States Army presentation saber. It is presented by the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Army and Navy Academy, Mr. Barry Schreier, along with another award. This year's recipient is Mr. Cadet Colonel Jefferson Kibbe.
Before we get to the big moment, would William Yans please stand? William is a lifer and has been at the Academy since 7th grade. He was in the last class and had the honor of teaching, and we are extremely proud of his accomplishments. Please give William a round of applause. And now, seniors, family members, faculty, staff, and friends, the moment has arrived. General Bartel, as the Dean of Academics, it is my honor to certify that the following cadets from the class of 2019 have met all of the requirements for graduation as indicated on their diplomas.
I accept these cadets and officially declare them graduates of the Army and Navy Academy.
Gentlemen, at this time, you know what to do when I call your name. Isaac Armstrong. Hadi Asi. Thomas Battaglia. Hugh Bennett. Lance Chang. Kevin Cho. David Eschner. Fangchun Fan. Pop Fay. Paul Ferraro. Nathaniel Fonseca. Ryan Foreman. Jeremy Gluck. Dylan Granados. Henry Hahn. John Hart. Zwolong He. Alfredo Hernandez. Brian Boyer. Stephen Hewitt Lanier. Dion Jing. Jefferson Kibbe. William Lederer. Zonghan Lee. Luke Myers. Ali Mirzai. Philip Newman Ortia. Vinny. Gilbert Oaks. Forrest Rogers. Marco Santriano. Zachary Schmidt. Yiwen Wu. Hao Chen Xiang. Brutao Ricky Xu. Lifer William Yan. Huashen Yang. Jiawei Jim Zhang. Chengtianyu Zhang. Rukun Zhang. Richard Zhao. Last but certainly not least, the amazing Reaver. Everyone, please give a huge round of applause to the class of 2019. Now, I'd like to call forward our athletic director, Bird Millick, for the benediction.
What a tough act to follow. Congratulations, graduates. Graduates, may God's blessing follow you. Follow you as you find new journeys to travel. May you walk safely along the pathways of your dreams. May God's gentle hand guide the decisions you will make and the passions that you follow. May your hearts and lives always reflect love and truth. May hope be a light within you that you carry into each new day. Take faith with you as you go into the parts of your life not yet traveled by love. Let compassion and hope be the roads that you follow today and always. May you find comfort from this community's continued embrace and support as you journey through your lives. And lastly, graduates, as you leave campus, you should always know that though you may physically leave through those gates, your spirit will never leave our Congratulations, warrior proud, warrior strong.
Deputy Commandant, please take your post and prepare for the retreat ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this flag retirement ceremony symbolically finalizes the leadership change from the 2019 Corps of Cadets to the 2020 Corps of Cadets. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the retirement of the colors.